A question can be easy to understand and still difficult to answer. The problem is often not vocabulary, it is the sudden pressure to respond. This session gives you clear ways to begin, explain, disagree, qualify an opinion, and finish an answer. Listen to each line, pause, and answer in your own voice. Keep the first response simple, then add one useful detail. Confidence grows when your answer has a clear direction. Imagine a real person is waiting for your reply. You are allowed to think, but you do not need to disappear into silence. Now we will practice answers that keep conversations moving. Yes, I think so because. Say it again with a calm rhythm. I am not sure, but my first thought is. That is a good point. I would say it depends. Let me give you an example. Now let us practice these sentences in a more natural flow. Sentence 1. Now repeat it like you are speaking to a real person. Sentence 2. Sentence 3. Sentence 4. Sentence 5. This is a good moment to remember something important. Speaking confidence grows when you practice real sentences out loud. If you want more real conversation practice after this video, Saloo English helps learners practice everyday English, respond naturally, and stop freezing when it is time to speak. You can find the Saloo English link in the description. Now come back to the practice with me. Someone asks me a question, and I need a second to answer. This sentence helps me stay present. I understand the idea, but I want to answer more clearly. I feel nervous, but I can still use one simple sentence. I can restart if the first sentence does not sound right. I can keep the conversation moving with calm English. Now we will practice a short speaking flow. Listen first, then repeat each line. I used to wait for perfect English before speaking. Now I start with one useful sentence. If I need time, I use a calm phrase. If I make a mistake, I say it another way. I keep speaking because communication is the goal. Good, your voice is learning the path. Now let us practice with more confidence. My English can be simple and still be useful. My voice can stay calm while I think. I can answer slowly and still sound clear. I can use one strong phrase when I feel blocked. I can build fluency through repetition. I can trust myself more each time I practice. Before we finish, let us do one final round. These sentences are for your confidence. I am training my ears, my mouth, and my confidence. I can repeat useful English until it feels natural. I can speak before I feel completely ready. I can stay calm in real conversations. I can improve one sentence at a time. Now we will add one more shadowing round for fluency. Listen first, then repeat each sentence out loud. I can repeat the sentence with a calm voice. I can feel the rhythm before I answer. I can let the words become familiar. I can practice slowly and still improve. I can listen first, then speak with more control. I can copy the stress and the natural pause. I can make my English clearer one phrase at a time. I can use this sentence in a real conversation. I can keep my voice steady when I feel pressure. I can trust repetition to make speaking easier. I can answer with simple English and still sound natural. I can breathe before I speak. I can continue even if one word is not perfect. I can repeat this practice and feel more confident. I can turn listening practice into speaking practice. Excellent work today. Shadowing is powerful because it turns English from something you only understand into something your mouth can actually say. Use this practice again if you want the sentences to feel more automatic. And if you want to practice real conversations step by step, try Saloo English. The link is in the description. Thank you for practicing with me today on Cindy Podcast channel. Keep listening, keep repeating, and keep training your calm English voice. I will see you in the next Cindy practice. Now we will continue with an extended practice for answering with confidence. This next part is longer and more conversational. Listen to each sentence first, then repeat it with a natural rhythm. Do not rush the repetition. Let the meaning stay clear. Practice sentence 1. Yes, I have a clear answer for you. Practice sentence 2. The short answer is yes, but there is more to it. Practice sentence 3. My first reaction was different from my final opinion. Now say it once more, as if you were speaking to a real person. Practice sentence 4. I would say that depends on the situation. Practice sentence 5. The most important reason is practical. Practice sentence 6. I have 2 examples that explain my point. Practice sentence 7. I agree with part of what you said. Practice sentence 8. I see the problem and I have a possible solution. Practice sentence 9. I would like to add one more detail. Practice sentence 10. That is not my experience, but I respect your view. Practice sentence 11. I changed my mind after hearing more information. Practice sentence 12. I can explain why I chose that option. Practice sentence 13. The result was better than I expected. Practice sentence 14. I would rather take a slower and safer approach. Practice sentence 15. I think the biggest benefit is confidence. Practice sentence 16. I am still deciding, so I do not want to promise too much. Practice sentence 17. My opinion is based on what happened recently. Practice sentence 18. I can answer that directly. Practice sentence 19. Let me compare the two choices. Practice sentence 20. I want to be clear about my main point. Practice sentence 21. I have learned from a similar situation. Practice sentence 22. I can give you a short answer first. Practice sentence 23. I am open to changing my mind. Practice sentence 24. That is how I see it right now. Now we will use these phrases inside short real-life thoughts. Listen first, then repeat the complete thought. Natural situation 1. When someone asks for my opinion, I answer the question first and explain only what is useful. Natural situation 2. When I disagree, I use respectful language and focus on the idea rather than the person. Natural situation 3. When I am unsure, I describe what I know and separate it from what I am guessing. Natural situation 4. When the answer has two sides, I compare them with a clear transition. Natural situation 5. When I share a personal example, I explain why it supports my point. Natural situation 6. When someone challenges my idea, I listen fully before answering. Natural situation 7. When I change my mind, I say what new information changed it. Natural situation 8. When I finish, I ask the other person what they think. Take a quiet breath. You do not need to remember every sentence today. Your goal is to become comfortable hearing the rhythm, repeating the words, and using one useful idea later in a real conversation. Now we will add a final fluency challenge for this topic. This final round combines listening, repetition, and natural speaking. Listen first, repeat with the same calm rhythm, then repeat once more as if you were using the sentence in real life. Fluency Challenge 1. I would answer that question in 2 parts. Now use it with a relaxed voice. Fluency Challenge 2. The evidence points in one direction, but I want to stay careful. Fluency Challenge 3. I can explain my choice without criticizing another option. Fluency Challenge 4. That is possible, although it would require more time. Fluency Challenge 5. I have a preference, but I want to hear your reasons too. Fluency Challenge 6. The answer becomes clearer when we look at the details. Fluency Challenge 7. I would begin with the simplest solution. Fluency Challenge 8. I can change the plan if new information appears. Fluency Challenge 9. I do not want to exaggerate the problem. Fluency Challenge 10. I can separate my personal feeling from the practical answer. Fluency Challenge 11. I think we are closer to agreement than it seems. Fluency Challenge 12. I can respond directly and keep the tone respectful. Excellent. The goal is not to memorize every sentence. The goal is to make useful English familiar enough that it is available when you need it. Take one last breath, choose the phrases that fit your life, and carry them into a real conversation. Now continue with a fresh practice section about answering with clarity and confidence. Listen to each line once, pause after it and say it aloud in your own voice. The sentence will not be repeated by the recording, so your attention stays active. Practice line 1. I will answer the question first and add detail afterward. Notice the meaning before you speak. Practice line 2. My opinion comes from a recent experience. Keep the sentence connected and relaxed. Practice line 3. I understand the concern behind your question. Let the final words land clearly. Practice line 4. I need to separate what I know from what I assume. Use a comfortable rhythm, not a rushed one. Practice line 5. There is a simple explanation for my choice. Imagine a real person hearing you. Practice line 6. I can describe the advantage without exaggerating it. Take a small breath and keep the idea complete. Practice line 7. I see why someone might choose the other option. Practice line 8. My answer would change if the circumstances were different. Practice line 9. I want to be precise about what happened. Pause here and remember one situation from your own life where this sentence could be useful. Practice line 10. I can give you the background in 2 sentences. Practice line 11. The important point is how the decision affects people. Practice line 12. I do not want to answer before I understand the situation. Practice line 13. I can disagree while keeping the conversation respectful. Practice line 14. I would begin with the safest practical step. Practice line 15. I am open to another solution if it works better. Practice line 16. I can explain my reasoning without sounding defensive. Practice line 17. The result taught me something I did not expect. Practice line 18. I have not decided yet, so I will not pretend to be certain. Practice line 19. I can make a long answer easier by using clear stages. Practice line 20. I will return to the question after explaining the context. Practice line 21. I can respond to criticism without taking it personally. Practice line 22. I want to know what information is missing. Practice line 23. I can compare the choices without attacking either one. Practice line 24. I would rather be honest than give a fast answer that is wrong. Practice line 25. I can state a preference and still respect another view. Practice line 26. The best answer depends on the goal we have. Practice line 27. I can use a personal example to make the idea clearer. Practice line 28. I understand the question better after hearing the full explanation. Practice line 29. I can change my position when reliable information changes. Practice line 30. I will keep my answer focused on the real problem. Practice line 31. I can finish with the action I recommend. Practice line 32. I give myself 1 second to think before I respond. Practice line 33. I can sound confident without pretending to know everything. Practice line 34. I listen fully because a good answer begins with attention. Practice line 35. I can explain my idea in words that another person can use. Practice line 36. I want my answer to help the conversation move forward. Final reflection for this episode. You have heard a complete set of useful sentences without copying a mechanical dialogue. Choose the lines that fit your life, say them again after the audio ends, and use one of them in a real conversation today.